everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Stalking the Wild Autoharp. And today I'm going to make it as simple as possible. In fact, we're going to talk about the most simple strum that you can probably do. And I call it rocker. And I'm going to show you why I call it rocker in just a minute. But it's just a basic rhythm strum that you can probably pull just about any rhythm in the book out of that you could ever want to play. And so here's how it starts, okay? Just real simple, you know, music has a pulse or a beat. And that beat goes either in 3 or in 4 usually, sometimes in 2, but we seldom, at least in folk music, deal with 5 or 7 or anything like that. So here we are in, let's say, 4. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 with our thumb, okay? And just like, and put that in your toe too. Now you can't see my toe. Maybe you can hear it. It's beating 1, 2, 3, 4 down there, and my thumb is in time with it. And we can put that on our harp. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the thing about the 1, 2, 3, 4 is that 1 gets a little bit more stress. It's just like an accented syllable when we speak, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the way that you can feel that moving on your harp, if you want, is you can put 1 down here in the bottom and then go 2, 3, 4, up a little bit higher towards the middle, maybe like over your sound hole. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's try it in 3. Again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which of course is a waltz time. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now, assuming that our 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4 is here at this speed, and it can really go at any speed, but we're going along here like this with our thumb, okay? And since we're doing this, we might as well come back down with a finger, okay? So for now, we're going to start with our index finger, okay? And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now, if you could see my toe, you'd see it go down with the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But between the numbers, it's got to come up. So there's a point in the cycle where the toe is pointing up. And that's where I'm saying and. Watch again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now it's important to keep it smooth. You don't want to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? But keep it steady so that you get a half beat, or what we call an upbeat or an offbeat, halfway in between the numbers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's where the finger goes. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4. And notice that I'm still going low, middle, 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 low, middle, middle, middle. Or we could say low and middle, 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 low and middle, 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 low and middle, middle, middle. Let's try it in 3. We go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 middle, middle, low, middle, middle, low, and middle, middle. Okay, so this is what we've got now, this sort of back and forth thing. And this is why I call it rocker, because what it does is when you're playing it loosely, you're not necessarily doing it with your fingers, but it's your whole forearm that is rocking back and forth from your elbow. You can't really turn your wrist. Your wrist doesn't turn by itself. It's got to be your whole forearm that's turning, and you're going. And you get this kind of rocker motion going. And I call this rocker because it looks like an overhead cam in a motor. And it's rocking back and forth like this, and that's why I call it rocker, okay? Now, this rhythm begets, and this motion begets all kinds of other motions that come along in their time. You're using two fingers, right? So you can also use these two fingers if that's more comfortable. And that frees up this middle finger to do other stuff later on. Or if you do these together, which is a different technique that we call pinching. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we can do rocker here and go. See, this part is still rocker. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. So this part of the hand is still doing rocker, and this part is doing a pinch. Okay? So you see we're adding on little by little to unlimited possibilities here. Okay? So we have T or thumb and index, I, T, I, T, I, T, I, T, I, T, I, T, I, or pinch I, pinch I, pinch I, pinch I, which is called pinch pluck. And that comes in handy when you're playing melody. Now this is not a melody playing video, excuse me, but just so you know, that is an availability that comes along to you, okay? Now, this rhythm, I'm going to go back to using these two, you can do any rhythm you can possibly imagine. You don't have to just do back and forth like this, although that's where it starts, okay? But when you get a little versed in this, you can... Now notice I'm going 1 and 2. I'm doing single thumb strokes some of the times, and other times I'm adding in that in-between stroke with my index finger. So lots and lots and lots of rhythms become possible, excuse me, and you can do whole songs just with those two fingers. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. See, I'm just doing this, okay? And instead of going P, I, P, I, P, I, P, I, P, I, P, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I like to go rocker, 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 rocker. All right? So again, the rocker terminology comes out. That's why I call it that. Now, here's another further yet application. Remember I was talking about doing it like this with the middle finger? Trade off. and go thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle. And then you're doing Travis picking. Which is going to fit right in with your melody playing. And in the next video, I believe I'll be showing you just how that strum, the Travis strum, fits in with melody plucking, okay? So stay tuned for that, okay? So this is the simplest strum in the world, and it's so adaptable. I call it the universal blender because you can use it to blend together different strums and melody playing and just go back and forth like this. There are people out there who are world champion Autoharp players who play just with these two fingers. So you can do a lot with a little, okay? And before I take you out, I want to remind you about my Patreon. If you pick up stuff from these lessons and you want to chip in and keep them going, go over to my Patreon and chip in a few bucks and you'll get wonderful benefits like the lessons that are about to come out. I'm about to start releasing Stalking the Wild Autoharp in paper form to my patrons over at Patreon, and so you can get a lesson a month and it'll all be there on paper where you can write on it and mark it up, keep track of your practice progress, all of that on Patreon and more Stalking the Wild Autoharp videos will be coming out over there and available to the recipients of those lessons. Subscribe to this channel also, because you'll get notified when there's a new video, which is about every week, and you can stay abreast of the latest and the greatest. If you want some private lessons, get in touch with me through my website, halweeks.com. halweeks.com is where you go, and you can find out about pricings for Skype lessons one-on-one with me so that I can address your needs individually right where you are. So, I'm Hal Weeks. Thanks for tuning in to Stalking the Wild Autoharp, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.